Hi, my name is Charlie Red, and I am the owner and creative director of Haven Yoga Studio, a wellness space here in Indianapolis, located on the corner of 42nd and Boulevard. I'm really excited to be here with you today and talk about and do some embodied connection with mindfulness, meditation, and also their connection to healing justice, especially as it's applicable to Black, Indigenous, people of color, navigating the world in racialized bodies and experiences. So I wanted to start our practice today with kind of getting into it. Let's ground a little bit and get connected into our virtual space. So starting with a breathing exercise or pranayama by the name of Samavriti, which is also called box breathing. And this breath is a combination of 4. So if you can remember 4, that is what we're going to keep counting to. You're going to inhale for a count of 4, hold the breath or suspend the breath for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, and then suspend the exhale for a count of 4. Okay? So as you do this, or when you start to move into this space, you can do this breath anywhere. You can do it in your car, you can do it in your room, you can do it outside. The counts of 4 make it a lot easier to remember than some other breathing exercises, but you want to make sure that you feel generally secure where you are and that you can feel comfortable or a comfortable way of being in your body. So your feet firmly planted on the floor as best as possible to feel the earth beneath you. And then you want to engage your low belly and stack your spine on top of each of the vertebrae as best as you can. And if you feel comfortable enough to do so, you can relax the muscles in the forehead, in between the eyebrows, and maybe close the eyes. And if closing the eyes doesn't feel comfortable or safe or brave for you, then maybe gently lowering your eyes and bringing your attention inward, but still allowing light in as you feel necessary. And let's just take a couple of breaths together, breathing at your normal pace, in and out. Connecting with your normal rhythm of breath. Good. Now on your next inhale, we're going to bring in air for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Then suspend the breath for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Suspend the breath. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Suspend. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Suspend. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Suspend. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Suspend the exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue to breathe in this pattern for 4 more breaths. allowing your body to fully expand on your inhale. The belly billows out and the chest expands. And finding this place of pause in between the breath. And as you exhale, perhaps you fully release all of the air from the lungs, even letting the belly button reach back toward the spine at the end of the breath. And as you suspend, coming from this place of complete release, holding there, feeling the bottom of your breath. And starting to expand a little bit more as you inhale. Getting comfortable in that space in between the breath, that place of uncertainty. And then as you exhale, release and let it go. Good. Now let's take a deep inhale together. Let the belly rise, the chest rise, and the shoulders roll back. Exhale, sigh out of the mouth. Good. Slowly start to open your eyes. Starting to take in colors and shapes and textures around you. And again, welcome. I am so excited to be here with you all in this practice and this time today. I want to begin our kind of chit chat with talking about healing justice and what that means, what that looks like, just to kind of get us started along the way. So healing justice, as defined by Kara Page of the Kindred Healing Justice Collective, defines healing justice as how we can holistically respond to and intervene on generational trauma and violence, and how we can bring collective practices that impact and transform the consequences of oppression and trauma on our bodies and hearts and minds. So it's a lot of words, a lot of things to say. Healing justice is around taking the information that we have received from personal and generational trauma to transform it into ways that we can look into healing ourselves and creating more resilience in our own experiences. And so we can't really talk about being traumatized in different ways without naming what trauma is. And so trauma is the moment where any perceived threat to someone's safety, whether that's physical or emotional, overwhelms the body's natural ability to protect itself. Okay, so when you're in that state of like complete overwhelm where you cannot do anything or you cannot process anything, and sometimes with trauma, we maybe don't even recognize it from the onset of what's happened. We maybe notice it or feel it later, feel the implications of it later. There's a sense of powerlessness when it comes to trauma in the face of whatever the perceived threat is. And so the thing about healing justice and about healing work in general is it is broadly asking for you to be in the process of learning tools and finding spaces of resistance. Okay? And so what resistance is our ability to bounce back from trauma and harm. It's a new sense of purpose and excitement and joy and groundedness. And it's something that's built over time. So as things or as people become more resilient, we can better respond to situations that maybe have traumatized us before. We can better respond to new traumatizing situations and move through the world a little bit different. So with trauma, it impacts the way we think, how we socialize, what we consider to be safe and unsafe, and our ability to connect with others. And resilience is I wouldn't say direct opposite, but it is a polar that helps us to create safety and feel safety in those situations, engage and connect with others better, and to practice connection where trauma has made it difficult or almost impossible to find things like joy and community with other people and other things. And so I just want to note that the purpose of doing healing justice work or sinking into resilience is not to build the capacity to build more harm or to experience more harm. That is not what that is. It is a way to increase our potential to move through a world where we will be traumatized. And it is also a calling to remind ourselves that we deserve safety and we deserve connection and we deserve joy and love and all of those things that feel impossible when we're in a traumatized state. It makes us more skillful in how we move through the world and also how we continue to fight for what we believe is right, fight for our own equity, fight for our own autonomy and our own ability and freedoms as human folk. Okay? So healing justice is all of that. It's talking about trauma, observing trauma, and seeing the ways it affects us and the people around us. And then also resilience and how we build that individually and collectively. A lot of resilience work and healing justice work is meant to be in community with other people because trauma asks us or kind of forces us to shut down and isolate. And I'm a firm believer that one of the main ways or one of the best ways that we heal is together. So a little bit about my experience with why I even got into this work in the first place or why healing justice I feel is so important, especially at a time like now, is a few years ago when there started to be more awareness around police violence and brutality and murder of black people around America. I really felt helpless and stuck and sad and horrified, and it really started to affect the way that I was moving through the world. And I wanted to find something to do. I wanted to do something. And I found that for my sensitivity levels as far as the person that I am and the way I move through the world, it was way too much for me to be out on the front lines with a bullhorn or to be out in this space of heightened frustration with a big collective of people. I believe that protesting and frontline activism is immensely, immensely important. However, I knew that I didn't have the capacity to do that and sustain my own health and well-being. And so I just sat with it. And I came to the idea or the realization that I can support and participate and fundraise as best as my mental capacity allows. I am also a person that lends into the space of healing. And so as much as I believe that sometimes you got to tear shit down, there also have to be people there to help put it back together. And the way that white supremacy works in the world, or one of the ways that it works, is that if you're so broken or so traumatized that you can't actually fight back. And so as we're in these spaces, sometimes potentially re-traumatizing ourselves or being in experiences that involve more trauma or violence, we have to, at the same time and then after, build into the things that make us more resilient and build into the things that are more helpful to a healing process of generational and historic horror. So today I want to offer to you a tool. So box breathing was one tool. We did that at the very beginning. And this other one is another way to help replenish your body and mind and spirit. I want to lead you through a basic Yoga Nidra practice. Yoga Nidra is designed to help drop your body out of the fight, and freeze sympathetic nervous system into your rest and digest and restore parasympathetic nervous system. So our country, especially right now, is in a heightened sense of anxiety and stress and fire and restlessness, right? And so this moment, a lot of us, is really easy for us to be just kind of stuck in this very heightened state. And we don't even sometimes know if we've been in this state for a very long time because it's our new normal. And some of us who are in brown bodies, black bodies, round bodies, older bodies, there's all types of bodies that our mainstream world and culture puts a lot of unnecessary stress on. So if we're used to living our world that way, we don't necessarily know that we're in a stress state. So this kind of practice reminds us and asks us to drop into this place of calm and restoration that is always there. And as we're busy fighting to survive and hustling and moving so fast that we can't really see, we're going to get to experience a space of rest. And I firmly believe that rest is how we build resilience. It is how we can start to resist. And rest, especially for Black people who are descendants of enslaved Africans, stolen from their homes and forced to labor and build a country with no compensation, rest is reparations. Rest is a version of reparations to take back our own wealth and take back and bring into the space that we need creativity and resource, and all of that can be found in our rest. I also want to shout out one of my sister friends out in the world, Trisha Hersey, who is the creator of the Nap Ministry. She's also known as the Nap Bishop. She is always reminding us that rest is reparations, and it is a way that we can come back to who we really are. Okay? So I'm going to invite you to find a comfortable way to be. If you are able, lay down. Find a space to lay on the floor, maybe on a yoga mat, maybe in your bed, but I ask that you make yourself comfortable, but not so comfortable that you'll be compelled to go to sleep. Sometimes you will fall asleep during Yoga Nidra, and that's totally okay. Be gentle with yourself, but know that the goal is to actually keep you in between the brain waves of awake and asleep. There's a sweet spot right in the middle where you are mindful and awake, but you're also resting and digesting. Okay? So find that comfortable place. And maybe if straightening your legs out, if you're laying down, is not very comfortable, it puts a lot of pressure on your low back, maybe bend your knees. Maybe put a pillow underneath the knees. Try to let your neck relax naturally onto the ground or onto the bed to create or remove any extra kind of bends in the neck. And if you're sitting in your chair, get your feet firmly planted on the floor. Maybe scoot back in your chair so your back is actually lightly resting on the seat back. Let your hands rest onto your thighs. And if you're laying down, your hands are going to gently roll open. So your shoulder blades are going to roll open And the palms of the hands, this part, are going to face up. So finding this comfortable way of being, and maybe you start to allow your breath to slow. Slow inhales and exhales. Maybe an exhale out of the mouth feels nice for you right now, feels a little delicious. So go ahead and take a deep inhale, let the whole body expand, take up a lot of air, and then exhale, sigh it out of the mouth, and let it go. Maybe let's do that one more time. Deep inhale. Exhale, sigh it out of the mouth. Good. Maybe you invite the eyes to softly close. Or maybe if there's something beautiful around you that you can mindfully focus on, you look at that. Start to bring your attention to your body. Noticing your body seated or laying wherever you're seated or lying down. Feeling the weight of your body on the chair or on the floor. Grounding and connecting with whatever is touching the earth. Take a few deep breaths. As you take a deep breath, bring in more oxygen, allowing that oxygen to bring a little bit of life into the body. And as you exhale, have and connect with a deep sense of relaxation. Starting to notice your feet on the floor or on the ground. Notice the sensations of your feet touching the floor, the weight and pressure, your cells vibrating, any heat or warmth coming from your body. Start to notice your legs against the chair or the floor. Feeling the pressure of gravity, the pulsing of your blood, heaviness in your bones, and the lightness of the space around you. Notice your back against the ground or a chair. Bring your focus to your stomach. Notice if your belly is tense or tight. If it is, let it soften. And then take a breath. Notice your hands. Sensing if your hands are tense or tight. See if you can allow them to soften. Notice your arms. Feeling the sensations in your arms and allowing your shoulders to become soft. Noticing your neck and throat, allowing them to be soft and relaxed. Soften your jaw. Relax your cheeks and your forehead, your eyebrows and the space right in between the eyebrows. Relax your eye sockets in your mouth. Seeing if you can maybe relax your tongue from the roof of your mouth. And maybe relax something weird like an eyelash. Let all of the muscles in your face be soft. And then notice your whole body feeling the sensations in your entire body. Your whole body is present and relaxed and softening in your chair or on the floor. And take one more breath and begin to become more aware of your whole entire body. Take a deep inhale and exhale. One more time, deep inhale and exhale. And start to bring your awareness and focus back into the space where you are. Begin to bring subtle movements to your fingers and to your toes, maybe rolling the wrists and ankles before you take a deep inhale. Reach the hands up over the head. And then exhale, hug the knees in towards the chest. Allow the knees to fall all the way over to the right side, curling your body up into a ball. And then gently using your hands to press yourself up into a seated cross-legged position, allowing the hands to rest on the knees. Take a deep inhale, reach the arms up over the head to touch. Exhale the hands down to the center of the chest, the heart center, Yoga Nidra. And maybe gently bow your head. Giving honor to those from whom these practices come. Giving honor to those from whom we come in our unseen roots. May you be happy and healthy and free. And may you move through life with just a little bit more ease. Thank you. I am so grateful to have been here with you today. I hope that this was at the very least informative and supportive to you in some kind of way. If you ever have any questions or need anything or want to find me or Haven, participate in classes, or just come and be a part of our community to learn and support each other, we are on all of the web things. We have a website, and it's www.haven, Haven, yogaindy.com. We are also at Haven Yoga Indie on Facebook and Instagram, and I would love to see you there. I would love to get to know you and figure out how we can keep making this place that we live just a little bit better, because we are showing up as exactly who we are. Have a beautiful rest of your Indie Pride. Have a beautiful rest of your weekend, and hopefully I will see you soon. Bye.